This is Radio Lewisham. Your start, our ends.
Yo, this is Nesh.
And this is Kay, and this is Nesh and Kay Talks, episode 14.
14?
Big 14.
Bro, that's crazy. All right, today we actually have a special guest called Kitty. Do you want to
Introduce yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Introduce myself again. Hi, my name's Kitty Perrin. So I've just started working at Radio Lewisham last week, and it's very exciting. It's been crazy.
It is. We've just had a lovely conversation about what we'll be doing with our show on Radio Lewisham.
Yeah, a lot of improvements.
A lot of improvements. I don't even think it's improvements. We just get to do what we want to do. So
Yeah.
we'll make it work. Now, what I would like to ask is, you're coming from a period of being from BBC. I
Yeah.
think that's something we should talk about.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very
We don't know many
interesting.
people from the BBC.
Yeah, cool.
All right. So, how long did you work at the BBC?
So I started working at the BBC in 2000. Well, I started volunteering at the BBC
You
in
did volunteering?
2018. Yeah, that's how I got my first job.
Oh wow!
So do you want the whole story?
It's up to you. Whatever you feel.
Okay.
Do you feel like doing the TLDR? Do you want to do?
Oh
the
yeah,
whole wrap?
I'll
It's
give
up to
you. I'll give you my in. So basically, yeah, I started working there in 2018, which was in my first year of university, and I still freelance there now, but I sort of stopped working there full time in 2023.
Yeah.
And yeah, it started out because I'm a musician as well, and I got involved in their like local music show, which was a show called BBC Introducing.
Oh.
And I like knew the local music scene really well because I was playing gigs and I knew all the other local musicians.
So it was just like that.
So it was just natural. I started volunteering on that show because I wanted to get more involved in the local music scene, and another program as well, which was a youth show. And then it was a classic. Like I've been volunteering there for about a year. When
wow,
at
so
the
you did
same
volunteering for a year.
Yeah, so I
That's
went
actually
every
pretty
week and did the
impressive
show.
during your uni, like
Yeah.
because a lot of people wouldn't do that. Like I know a lot of young people when they hear the word volunteering and they're the other way. Like if I'm not paid, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
But people forget like volunteering is the best way to kind of get into things.
Yeah.
Because it shows you have a dedication to the craft of like wanting to get into what you're trying to do.
Definitely gets your foot in the door. Yeah.
No, it absolutely is the best way. I mean, I get it when people say, if I'm not getting paid, I don't want to do it, because in a lot of ways it is,
Free
it's
work.
not a good system. It's free work,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't have to volunteer. And I was in a really lucky position that I was at uni
Yeah.
because, I've got my student loan. I'm in a place where I can volunteer my time. Whereas, there's so many reasons why people can't volunteer their
so
time.
many barriers.
So many barriers. So if you can, it's an amazing thing to do.
No, I 100% agree with you. I just think that a lot of us, we kind of underestimate the value we get from volunteering. Like a lot of us don't really actually understand it. And I don't know if that's come from the fact that we're from a newer generation. So like, everyone's seeing like the crazy money people make from Instagram and stuff like that. So people are quite like...
When you have to slow down and volunteer, it feels like,
I feel like...
I could be doing something else, but you also got to be like, I can be getting a lot of things from what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I just think anything creative, like when you get the opportunity to volunteer and work with a group that's been doing it, it just brings in so much opportunity, right?
It pays in a different way. So
yeah, exactly. I think that's the other thing. Like volunteering pays in a different way. It doesn't pay you the money. We'd love money. I think we all do, but... Yeah, no, 100%. I hear that. But I was going to say, as someone that because obviously for us, we've been doing this radio show for let's say, 2-3 months?
Yeah,
No,
around
actually,
that,
no, I was
that,
it's
if
a bit
not
longer
more.
than that. If we think about episode 14, bro, we're probably 4 or 5 months, bro. We're 4 or 5 months for sure. So, obviously you're going to be the person that kind of helps us kind of direct and set up. And so we're kind of pleased to have you. I think that's when we got told that someone was coming in, we was actually really excited. I will admit I was late today, so I don't know how much of that excitement shows.
No, thanks so much.
Just talking about your first foot in the door and just come into a space now that you're doing freelancing, right? How does it feel to be a freelancer?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I mean, it's not been the like easiest time of it, to be honest. I've technically been freelance my whole career because I never had like but even when I was working like solid 2 shows a week, full time, all this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I've been properly freelance for a year, like trying to find work and stuff. And I think as like a young person, it is quite a difficult thing to do because one, you haven't had that much time to actually build a network. And I think to be a successful freelancer, you have to know 100% everyone. Yeah. And also you have to be really good at selling yourself and be okay to constantly be emailing people and be like, can we do I'm this? Amazing. Give me a job. Yeah. And I don't. It's hard to sit that comfortably.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So yeah, it's been mixed, but then at the same time, like it gives you amazing freedom. It gives you so much scope to pick what jobs you want to do and how to balance like
that's great.
You know, work that pays with the creative, passionate things that you want to do. Which like I know for you guys as well would be an amazing thing to get.
Yeah, we're working to it in a lot of ways. I would say like, listen, I can't talk for Kylie, I can talk for myself. I can't say I should get paid for anything if I ain't done the work. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no like, let me do the work, and then like when we get to that point, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be gassed for it. But that's a project in motion. What did they say? In progress.
In progress.
Yeah. So
it's pending.
Pending.
No, it's pending.
I wouldn't say it's pending. It needs to happen, bro. No, I just want to make stuff in it. No, but going back to that kind of whole like freelancing now, and then obviously you've done 2 shows yourself. Like, what was it like switching between freelance? Like that switch must have been like, was it like a relief? Was it like, do you feel like it's impacted your life in a better way? Would you say?
I think it was definitely a good, when I left when I did, I've basically done these 2 shows for like almost 5 years at this point. Wow. And I was like producing and hosting them and it was great. But the reason I left the youth show was because I turned 24 and the deal had always been, it was 14 to 24. No one involved in the process was like over that age.
So you got cut off?
Well, they were basically like, you're the presenter, you can stay. And I was like, no, this doesn't work.
No, you know what? I respect her. Yeah. I respect her to say like this, the whole point of the show is for people of that age bracket. I am no longer in that age bracket. Yeah, respect to you. Yeah. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
But also it had just been enough time, and with radio shows, you are actually going in and you're meeting different people. Every week is completely different, but at the same time there is such a formula to it when you're in it, where you're prepping every week. You're doing, you know, you have to get the players together. You have all the stages. You go on air for the same amount of time. You go home. Yeah, and I like a lot of change constantly. I'm just someone who I'll do something for a bit and then I'll be like, I want to do something completely different. Yeah. So when I left, had been doing some like youth work, community work really? On the station, but I left and I actually worked with like 8 to 11 year olds in a like SEN forest school, which is crazy. I did that for a year. I did like loads of other different jobs. I kept doing radio, and so
wasn't that like a complete switch?
Yeah,
that was like a complete switch, right?
It was crazy.
Do you think it was like one of those jobs? Because I always say this as well, like, because I've switched jobs quite a bit myself, and like when you go into like working in an environment that isn't your creative passion, it kind of puts you back on, innit? Like it's like a reminder, like go back.
Yeah, it was a bit of that, of being like, I actually miss radio in a way, which was a good thing to know, because again, it's like you never want a job to become a job. Oh no, 100%. You never want to be like, I'm doing my dream job but I feel like it's work.
Yeah, no 100%.
And it's really good to have a break and to be like, wait, I actually was doing the best thing ever. Like I need
but sometimes you need a different environment, right? Like
different perspective.
Like sometimes when you're in it, it's hard to be like, when you're in that environment, it's hard to kind of be like, yeah, this is where I want to be the whole time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when we're so young as well, like you want to switch between things and like you said, try different things. So I completely understand that, and I've been there. It's like you leave an environment, you're like, damn man, I kind of enjoyed doing what I did.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a satisfying kind of place to be. What I was going to actually ask, just because you said you did 2 programs, right? So you did the one with for the youth, and then what was the other one?
BBC Music Introducing. So it's like a new music show. There was at the time one. There's now less than there were, but because there were cuts, but there was sort of one for every area of the UK.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which was super cool. So I was doing the one in Norfolk, and then there was like a central team as well that we would like work with, and we'd all occasionally do those national shows. But basically, there's like an uploader, and any musician in any area, so there is a BBC Introducing in London, can upload their music. Then I would listen to every single track that got sent in, make a playlist from it, like get those artists on for interviews, for live sessions,
that sounds
all this
fun.
stuff. It was
sounds pretty
amazing.
Good,
like you're being paid to listen to music.
No, but that just sounds fun in the sense of like you don't know what you could get as well. Like you could get something that's like completely. And did you ever genre changes like someone could be doing classical music to like someone doing hip hop to R&B? Was it like that?
It was everything and
God.
anything, every single show.
That would have been so fun. Like now that I think about it,
I'm guessing you had like a lot of favorites, but was there any inputs that like really stood out to you?
Yeah. There was quite a few. I mean, one of them, shout out to Afia, who is part of the Lewisham music team, is also an artist called I Am Afia. And when I first heard her music, I was absolutely blown away.
Really?
She is an amazing songwriter, guitarist and singer.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, her music, it's just so interesting because she's got this like absolutely beautiful, like sort of quite wistful but also really powerful vocal, and then her tastes are so different. So she's like, I've heard her mention before like some of the sort of emo bands that I loved growing up, but then also loves like psychedelic music, and also listens to like neo soul bands, and then that all kind of blends. So yeah, she was an artist I was really excited about, and
now she's your colleague.
Now she's my colleague, which is crazy. Yeah. There was an artist called Alice Lilly who's lives in London now as well. I'm trying to shout out the ones who live in London so you can go see them. She has just released an EP that is so worth a listen. It's really cool. She's more sort of on the poppy side, but like, yeah, absolutely amazing. And then another artist called Led by Her who makes bedroom trap, which is like, it's so cool. It's basically like bedroom pop. It's like she's a rapper, and all of her beats are very like sort of garage band style, homemade beats, just because that's how she started. But instead of being like, I need to get into a studio, I need it to sound better, she's just made it a genre.
Okay.
So it's like kind of lo-fi, and
that's definitely,
and she's
something
great,
interesting.
and she's doing really well at the moment.
Oh, that's so nice to be able to like find all the underground, like you just get to peer into it and see like what's actually happening, and then getting also some feedback from like the people who are sending it all to you. And that sounds like honestly dream job.
That's what I'm saying. And then like you get to contact them, make friendships and like relationships and that, like that's crazy. What, so you knew Afia before you? Wow. So that must have been like a shock when you got the job.
Oh well, I knew Afia worked here because Afia was the one that was saying all the time Lewisham music is the best place ever.
Really?
I'd heard really good things, and it was great because you know when you go for an interview and then you're like, places. I don't know, you have to kind of suss out the vibe on the day. But I'd already had Afia say this is a really great place to be.
And you were just like,
so I was like, great, it's going to be great.
No, that sounds amazing, man. Like, sounds like you're in the right place to be. But now let's talk about one thing. You're not a local, are you, from London?
I wasn't. I was hoping not to be exposed.
Draw her up,
well, I'll say now, like, you haven't met me for long, but that is what I do. No, I don't mean to, but it's just because I feel like for locals especially, they would love to hear someone's take from like outside of London. Do you know what I mean? So like when you moved here, so you moved from where did you move from? Sorry,
Norwich.
Do
you know where Norwich is?
Is it like north, south?
Keep going.
South?
No.
North?
It's north of here, just, I guess.
Okay.
But it's east.
See, you know what the worst part is? I'm pretty sure I've been to Norwich once, and I don't remember anything. Like, whenever I go somewhere in a group, if I'm not there often, I won't remember like I know Brum pretty well. I know Leicester pretty well. I know Coventry pretty well. But then like anything I've been to like surrounding places near them, near the Midlands, I've just not. It's not clicked. But what I will say is, you've moved from there to where? Sorry.
I live in Brockley now. So
wait, there's no way you live near me. That's crazy.
All right.
Fair enough. Yeah, that must be a big change.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I like grew very attached to Norwich in the time that I was there.
So
partly like being in the music scene and stuff. I think I've had sensory overload since I've got here, and I haven't had time to miss anything.
Yeah. You just get thrown in the deep end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You miss stuff. I always find like, you get homesick or you miss people when you have a quiet moment alone, and that hasn't happened in the 3 months I've been here. So
sounds like you're busy and you got a lot going on.
Yeah, so it's been good. But no, I really love Norwich. I think it's an amazing place to be. But it's just been so exciting.
I was going to backtrack to I think the last 2 episodes when we was talking about transport. How is the transport different? Like, has it been very in a good way or in a bad way? Because I already have some views about the tube, but I ain't gonna say too much. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear what are your views about it right now.
Okay, well, part of the reason that I moved to this area was because I don't like the tube.
Okay.
And I don't have to get on the tube. Where I live is very much a bus and overground only part of town. And I think, obviously, it's weird. In Norwich, you don't use transport. It's too small a city, you just walk.
Really?
So
so it's a small city?
Yeah, it's a small city. The buses don't actually come. Like, they have buses, but if you wait for one, it won't come.
How does that work?
If I rock up to a bus,
Never get a bus in Norwich. It won't come.
All right.
Wow.
They have them for show, and they have bus stops. But I'm positive they don't actually run. I've never managed to get one.
I've kind of heard that if you literally miss a bus, like sometimes outside of London, like you could just be waiting there for like till for 3 to 5 working days maybe, and it might not come.
We have a friend from Newcastle complaining to us
about
about trains.
God,
he was like, I missed the train home. I'm just doing work at work. I'm staying an extra 2 hours. I can't be asked.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I am not handling that.
Yeah, like here, people under the tube, like honestly, we have it good. Like, but if I look up, like sometimes you'll see 4 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, 4 minutes! Like, come on now, like, come on, quick. But like, I can't imagine missing a train or a bus, and then I need to wait double digits, and the first digit is starting with the number 4. Are you mad?
Nah.
40 minutes? No, that's insane.
And you know what's mad? Yeah. You know when you wait as well.
40 minutes is great. I thought you were going to say like 14 hours.
40 minutes is what? Oh my.
40 minutes is great for you. See, you know what this is, Kylie? We are.
It's culture shock right here.
It's culture shock.
Imagine culture shock from Norwich. Wild stuff.
Mad.
Yeah.
No, I think for us, we're just too entitled, bro.
Honestly, I think definitely is.
We're so used to fast transport. We're just like, that's actually shocking for you. 40 minutes is calm. Like, do you know how mad that is? 40 minutes. Yeah. To be fair though, like in terms of like travel, like I'm blessed in it. So for me, like I'm not gonna say where I completely live, but there's so many train stations. So where I'm at, there's like so many train stations, so many bus stations. I have the perfect location to go central, and I can go to any part of London and be okay.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can't imagine 45 minutes as the standard, bro.
But I guess this is the thing, in a city like Norwich, so everyone lives in the city, like, I can't really explain it because it's just not at all the same size.
Yeah.
But if Norwich was London, everyone would live like next to the Thames at London Bridge. Because it's a small city, so you live in the city. So you never have to travel. There's no reason to get transport.
Is it kind of like walking distance? Like everywhere's
a 20-minute walk.
Okay.
That's too
calm
bad
then, yeah.
Because like, why would you take the bus?
Exactly. Yeah. Why would you? There'd be no point.
Then like, you can't complain about travel.
No, right? I wasn't.
That's fair. Like, 10 minutes, bro. I'll be walking everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, walkable cities, it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
actually, that's so true. Walkable cities is quite a lovely thing when you can just travel but now at the same time you're quite small in it, so it's like limited.
So I think the thing with London is the adjustment to just accepting that you're always going to have to get on a mode of transport.
Yeah.
And 40 minutes is sort of about average for how long it will take you to get somewhere. And I was really surprised by how quickly I adjusted to it. So like living in Norwich, if someone said I'm here and I looked on maps and it said 40 minutes, I'd be like, you're all right. And in London already, I'm like,
imagine that's your best friend, like pull up.
Be like, no, it's too
Kylie,
far.
I'm just saying, she just said it that, bro. If you sent me that text and I said I'm good, bro.
Bro, I'm good. I ain't coming, fam. That's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
To be fair, I have done that. Not to him though.
But I could understand it. It's like it's two completely different things. So
yeah,
100%.
Yeah, but in London, you just if it's under an hour, it's close and it's fine.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
What are the things that you kind of miss from Norwich that aren't here?
I miss all the sort of people I knew. I think the biggest thing that I miss working in, like, obviously starting out in a local radio station, you meet everyone. So you have like such a good community. And that's sort of the biggest thing for me. I miss being able to go into like any shop and know the person that owned it. Walk into any room and see like a load of people I knew all the people that own the venues, and it's just that total community. And obviously when you move to any new city, you don't have that, and it's going to take a lot of time to build up. But again, it's like I feel so lucky that I've landed in this job where I'm going to meet so many people that live in the area, that are doing really cool things in the area. And already I feel like I'm building a bit of a picture of the area. Like it's crazy how quickly you meet one person and then you meet another person. They're like, oh yeah, I know that person. And then you sort of start to see the pieces come together.
The circle starts forming.
Yeah, totally. And within creative scenes as well, they always tend to be sort of smaller than you think when you first come in, and actually everyone's working together. And so I miss that, but I'm also really excited to build it here.
Essentially build anew, really.
Yeah.
So we've talked about transport, we've talked about what you've missed, but the biggest thing, what about the food?
Okay.
How are you finding the food since coming to London?
Well, it's obviously better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Them in Norwich they're not smiling right now.
Family and friends are questioning their friend.
What's
right
London
now?
done to you right now?
I know. It's bad. Again, there's just so much choice, isn't there?
There is like so much.
That's the problem.
You can really get anything, and by anything I really do probably mean anything.
Yeah, I think like if you're not, at least in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people that I've met from outside of the UK, they'll always tell you that the food from their country is better home cooked 90% of the time. But it's crazy how in London there is literally there is a store for everything, which is kind of crazy to say because not many people have that. So we are kind of just blessed for food.
Options are out of this world.
Yeah, totally. I think it's so mad that I've heard people saying from like Europe and stuff that London has people think London's got bad food.
Yeah.
I'm just like, London has absolutely everything.
But you know what it is? It's not that they're saying that London has bad food in the sense of like, it's their food. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? It's their cultural
I can kind of see someone who's like, in my opinion, I don't know, like, I'm going to pick a very romanticized food and country, so anyone from here don't get offended. But someone who's from Italy and they have very nice pasta and it just looks good. I think if they come over and they see beans, it's like, I think a lot of people think of Britain and they think baked beans.
It's not just baked beans. They also think of British breakfast, isn't it? But
I guess if you're talking about like actually British food, then yes, we have bad food.
Like when they think of like even the names toad in a hole, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I can see how some people think of like British food is bad, but I don't even think like, I'm not even gonna lie, shepherd's pie, it's kind of banging, you know what I'm saying? So
they're all okay. Do you know what it is? British food, like the thing about British food is like the aesthetic may not be pleasing on the eye, but when you have it, you're like, rah, that was kind of nice. Do you know what I'm saying? So
in MasterChef, the presentation.
Wait.
I'm saying
why is the mic on? Hello?
Hello? All right, we're good.
All
good. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but yeah. I think when it comes to presentation, people look at it weird because I ain't gonna lie. Maybe when you look at beans on the side of toast with a sausage that's just not there, then an egg that's on a plate. Like it all looks like components. Do you know what I'm saying?
That hasn't components. That hasn't been.
Do you know what I'm saying? You have to build it, and I think the presentation doesn't look nice. But I think there's just so many other options out there in, especially London, that you can probably get anything.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. But I'm just saying it from a perspective of like, let me give you a good example. Yeah. So I have we share a friend called Berke who's half Polish, half Turkish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He does not like, from what I remember, he does not like any like restaurants in London's Polish cooking. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he has a set like from both his country and his family making it at home. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I feel like there are a lot of people where when you hear food in England is bad, it's not that food in England's bad. It's just that sometimes their cultural representation isn't represented in the way they want it to be.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's definitely true. Yeah.
So I completely hear it. I think for us though, like we need to get a couple of things like. Obviously, we spoke off air about this, but like the fact that you said the first thing you tried was Morley's is crazy. Like you had all the options in the world, and you was like 10 years in the game.
I think
I've been waiting for.
That just shows how good Morley's advertising is.
Yeah,
like honestly, that is insane. That some people like Morley's. It's like because obviously, like I think I had Morley's yesterday. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I had it the other week.
Yeah,
so
see what I mean.
I can't talk.
Yeah,
I think Morley's just did a real. Hey, shout out Morley's. They did.
But
no,
but Kylie, you gotta understand, yeah. Like, I'm just saying, from our perspective, it's a local thing, innit? So we just see it as like, alright, we'll get it one day of like some week, innit? But the fact that Kitty's come from Norwich, yeah, and the first thing she says to me is, "I went Morley's."
It's just something that is normal for you, and it's like, yeah, I really enjoyed Morley's.
What you have to understand, and I'm like really revealing myself now, okay? But you just have to just go with it, yeah.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Norwich doesn't have any good fried chicken.
Damn.
Oh damn!
At all.
Yeah, we got pitchforks in Norwich right now. They're all up in arms.
Pitchforks.
So it is quite exciting.
Yeah.
And also that it's a like people talk about Morley's outside of London. It's a big brand.
No, look, it's
like they've done really good
look,
collabs as well, which is crazy. Like,
are we trying to get a sponsorship from now?
I wish we could. I don't think they'll sponsor.
Lifetime supply. That's gonna save some money. You know what I'm saying?
I can't live my whole life eating food.
We also can't upgrade a radio station with a lifetime supply of chicken.
That's true.
Well, actually, we could give it to every guest that comes on the show.
That's true. Then we get more. You know what I'm saying? I think Kitty would be very smiley right now. She has some Morley's right now.
No, hit them with a radio offer. That's crazy. Oh no, but it's alright. It's not a problem. You're allowed to have Morley's. I just thought it was so funny. That was the first thing you said to us.
But tell me what are your top tips for a new Londoner?
Yeah.
Give me for a new South Londoner. I want both of your top place to eat in South London.
Top place. Me. You're asking me who doesn't like.
I'll go after.
Oh, and if you've got like a secret order there that isn't on the menu as well, I want to know what it is. You know, sometimes with your favourite restaurant, you get stuff that no one else gets, but I want it.
Okay. It's not a secret order, but it was mentioned off air. But so Cockroach is a good place to go in terms of like wanting a meal that just like kind of stuffs you for like a one and done, right? And so what I do is when I go Cockroach, I get sweet and chili chicken, but I get the katsu curry on top.
Combination.
Because for me, the katsu curry there is great, but like it doesn't hit for me. But with the sweet chili chicken and you add the katsu curry on top, it just, I don't know, it just has that extra flavor to it, that extra punch. Okay. So that would be my recommendation.
When did you first go to this?
So to break it down,
I want to hear the story.
So we've known about Cockroach in ages. So before, a long time ago, there was one in Bromley. There's still one in Bromley.
Yeah.
But we used to go like once every I don't even remember, Kylie. Like, I think we went up Bromley like maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah, it wasn't that often. Yeah,
we didn't go often. And then basically, I started working in Elephant Castle at like a gaming cafe, and there was one right behind us, and so I just. It was so close to me and accessible. I was like, yo, that's my lunch.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a point where it's like, damn, bro, it hits a bit too hard in the stomach. So I'm like, every here and there. But for me personally, like, yeah, I only did that switch up because I started because obviously when you go to a store so often, you know the staff.
Yeah.
And obviously I was saying to the staff, like, come on, man, like you could put a bit of the curry. It's not that deep. I don't have to pay. And for a long time I didn't pay. And then recently I went in there and there's completely new staff, so no one recognizes me. And they were like,
it's a big switch up.
Extra £1, extra £2. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, you know what, bro, I don't even want the curry. It's cool. I'm good. So
you should have asked them to put your picture behind the bar.
Yeah.
No.
You're like Hall of Fame.
See that Hall of Fame? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You want random people to be like, I want the Nesh special.
The Nesh, that goes crazy. That's advertising right there.
That's literally exactly what I'm going to ask for when I go in. They're going to
look
at
me
special? Like I'm crazy. Yeah,
they're going to be like, who the hell is Nesh?
I'll be like winking at them aggressively.
Yeah, like, no, you know Nesh though.
Okay, that might throw you in a different end of and I'm going to say it now. I'm not taking responsibility for that. So please don't do something.
Okay.
I think for mine, I would definitely. I'd say okay. There's one for both of us. I think Nesh hasn't said yet, but it's Lebanese Grill.
Oh my god!
Okay, Lebanese Grill. Shout out to Lebanese Grill if you're listening. I forgot even the prices. Was it half a chicken?
So it's half a chicken and rice, and
half a chicken and rice for chips.
Yeah, and
then salad.
Yes,
yeah.
$7.99.
I think it's $7.99 or $6.99. One of the two.
Oh, but it's so good.
It's so good.
But the problem with it is like
the sauce as well. They put some good stuff in that sauce as well. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's amazing. But a part of me is like, I stopped getting it because we got it so frequently in a group because we all worked. So when we worked there, like a lot of us would go there together. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where like we had someone that could just skip the queue because it's actually so popular that there's a queue of people that
just
would
outside,
order.
Yeah.
And so I remember like one of our friends, she basically, the guy recognized her so much, she would just cut queue, and it was so funny. Like,
so we just give her all our orders.
So, yeah. We'll just dash all of our orders to her.
Little delivery.
And because back then he used to do night shift, so we worked at the same store, and he did night shift, and I did day shift. And so what would happen is I'll do my day shift, then it'll go to night shift, and then he's working, but then I'll just stay on to just chill. And it was like really fun, like just to chill out really. But then, yeah, I remember one time she just went and got the food instantly, and we was like, "How'd you get it so fast? Like, we sent you like 2 minutes ago." So yeah, she told us the guy just skips the queue for her, and I was like,
"Yeah,
we know who we're going to."
So is she free for when I want to go?
Yeah,
no, I can't lie. She is like. If I did text her, she probably would.
She might.
It could be like a side hustle. It'd be like, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
To skip the queue.
That's some good delivery fee right there.
That's a good delivery fee, but like, how often is she gonna get paid for that? Like, we've literally got one customer.
Guys, you start small. Yeah. This is how all startups begin.
It's true.
One customer.
Is that? Are you trying to refer to what you're about to do at Radio Lewisham?
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that.
I'd say so Lebanese Grill, but I'd say after hours is oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, after hours is really good. Anything you can order anything from there, you'll love it. You do have to get it after hours.
So what is after hours?
So it's like honestly, I'd say it's more of like a soul food place. Like they got a lot of like Caribbean and like African food there. A lot of different takes on it, and yeah, honestly, it's just I'm speechless even thinking about it because I kind of want some right now. But it's really good.
Like a well-known like dessert. I keep forgetting though.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they have something that like everyone like in my area craves for, and I just can't think of the name.
Have you guys had that thing where like has anything in your area suddenly really blown up on the internet and now you can't go?
Oh my days. No, but you know what? Actually, probably, but I can't think of a place.
I remember there was this one. Okay, so there's this one sweet called, I think they're called squashies, and I'm not sure if there was this one celebrity, they shouted it out and I couldn't find it anymore. They were all rinsed, and I was like, these fake fans of the squashies. I've literally been a squashy ride and die. And now I legit forgot the name of like who shouted it out that was their favorite. And then it's gone back. You know, I can get some now, but there was a drought there was a drought of squashies for a while, but
so I can't give you like a place in particular. I can give you two things though. One, Prime. Like Prime is so big. I don't know if do you know much about Prime?
I've heard of it because I worked with 11-year-olds.
Right. So okay. So there you go.
I didn't mean for that to be.
No. So I'm not a Prime drinker. I don't drink energy drinks. So like, don't throw me under the bus. Like, she's very creasing and looking at me like, yeah, I've done him back. Like, no, bro. No, the reason why I'm saying Prime is because I don't know if you saw that on the internet, but when Prime first dropped, like you could not buy it in supermarkets or stores, and people were reselling it for like 15, 25 pounds. Yeah. And I remember there was this one store, and I only saw it. I just remember it, but it's like he sold Prime for £100 to a kid, and he bought it. Yeah. I was so baffled, bro. I was like, nah. Because
that's what the children I was working with were saying. Like, they save all of their pocket money, everything, to buy like one Prime.
One Prime.
Okay, let me just explain something. Kids, like, what are you doing, bro?
Lock in, man.
You finish the drink, and then what are you going to do? Stare at the wrapping? I'm sorry, I can't. Like,
have you had it?
Okay, do you know what's great? So I did wait because you must be mad if I'm paying £5 for a drink.
I didn't buy it.
So we waited for it to like kind of go down, and then I think maybe a couple months ago I was like, you know what? All right, I'll try Prime. It's so mid. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
Nah, it wasn't my thing either.
It was like, but not £5 worth. Like,
okay, listen, like, if someone gave it to me and was like, yo, this is the only, like, do you want a drink? Gives it to me, I probably could drink it. But it's not my go-to drink by far. And then the other thing to it is like, bro, when I was a kid, I was spending money on all sorts of things, like toys, Pokemon cards, whatever, bro. Like, how are you spending you're saving your entire pocket money for a bottle?
I think that's again, shout out to the marketing again. They kind of went crazy with it because getting kids to buy saving their pocket money for Prime.
That's crazy to hear that you had
nonsense
that been told to you is wild.
No.
Bro, there was an era of Beyblades. There was an era of like just
all like trading cards things. Yeah, all that
even
stuff.
the idea of like buying any food for more than 20p at the age of 11 is so absurd to me. I didn't value food that was more than 20p.
No, but to be fair though,
Monster Munch for 20p, that was a good deal. Yeah, perfect.
But you got to remember, times have changed, bro. Yeah. Back in the day where we could get a £5 munch from the corner shop, bro, recessions hit us hard, bro.
Yeah. Like, you could buy the whole corner shop for £5.
Yeah, legit. Like, oh my God,
wish I could.
Yeah.
But like, I'm looking at, bro, like a Coke, bro. I've stopped trying to drink Coke recently, but even the price of Coke bottles is like £1.70, bro. Are you mad? Mm-hmm. I remember the days they were £1, bro. But going back to the question you asked, there was one thing about a place. Now, this will be funny because I don't want to admit it, but there was, when we was back in secondary school, a Morley's had actually just opened locally.
Wow.
And it was so bad.
Oh my God, you guys were there from the start. You're like the original fans. You're hipsters from Morley's.
Don't throw your Morley's love to my, like, you don't need to, I know you're trying to alley-oop me right now, but I'm not dunking that, okay? But what I will say is, back when we was in secondary school, when Morley's actually opened, it was wild. People were like trying to leave school early. Yeah. Like, I think in the first week they did like half price or something.
We did half price, and
it was my days,
like,
the whole road was lock off.
I'm not sure if like you've watched. I know this is World War Z, and it's like the horde of zombies. But imagine just secondary school kids just sprinting.
There's people
like palm to
people
ear.
are shoving people out of the door to get into the door. They had to like have like 10 people
because it was half price for for the first week, and for a secondary school guy, that goes far. Like, you can now stretch your chicken chips for 2 days. So you gotta think that's like economics right there, fam. Think about it.
The street economics is crazy when you say
you can stretch it for 2 days now. So I can understand why people were running, but it was definitely crazy, and I can understand why. But as I said, marketing goes crazy. Morley's. They did their thing. Like,
I didn't want to admit it, but I had to just bring it up because you said like when you see a place get lock off, that was like an experience that was so like I literally remember walking out. I'm walking with my friends on the opposite side of the road, and I'm just seeing like a mob for Morley's, bro, for chicken.
Yeah. And I'm guessing it was not the only chicken shop.
No, there was
available.
there was bits.
No,
there had been many.
There was like 3 others.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of felt bad
side.
for them. They were probably, as soon as they saw that building, they were like, oh, that's getting peak for us.
But you know what's mad when I see like 3 chicken shops
in the same vicinity.
No, I just find it mad when I see a bunch of the same store kind of like set up. Like, how are you setting up 3 chicken shops against each other?
Yeah.
Right next to each
They got the monopoly, man.
Yeah, I suppose. Not my type of the thing, but to talk about food and like, okay, because you asked about recommendations.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, I can't give you a recommendation in London because it's technically outside of London, but K-Town for Korean barbecue. Go K-Town for Korean barbecue.
Whereabouts is that in London?
It's outside of London.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half, I think, from where I live. And you said you live near me, so that's what I'm going to say to you.
Cool.
But it is worth it.
Okay.
It's like an hour. It's about a 90-minute buffet. I think it used to be £25. No, so it used to be £20, and then because of COVID and everything that happened, it's like £30. But if you go in a big group and if you like Korean barbecue, beautiful stuff.
Incredible.
And the area is quite nice as well. And there's like a bunch of like Korean, because it's in like a bunch of Asian. Like there's a bunch of Asian stores in that vicinity. I'll send you an address after. But
amazing.
Oh my god, that.
Well, yeah, when I like quite soon after I arrived, and I can't remember the name of it, so that's terrible. But I went to a Korean place in central London, and got there at. It opened at 5 p.m. and everyone was like, "It gets crazy busy. Like, just go."
Yeah.
And like. We've been out since like 10 a.m. and I was like, I'm really hungry. Let's just go at 5 and then we'll like beat the queues, whatever.
Yeah.
Got there at 5 and there was already a queue on both sides of the road, down the whole road. And that's just a thing, again, like coming from a small city. No one queues for restaurants because it's just like there aren't that many people. And everyone's been everywhere before. Like, unless somewhere new comes up.
Yeah, so nothing.
Nowhere's worth queuing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this popular at 5 p.m.
You should go to Soho or like Chinatown.
Yeah.
Like
Chinatown, those two as well.
Chinatown is like ridiculous. Like, bro, like, okay, as much as I like Chinatown, this is just a pet peeve of mine. Every time I ask a group and they say they want to go Chinatown, I'm like, bro, do you understand what you're putting ourselves into?
Yeah.
Like, are you prepared for that? Because the amount of times I've had people initiate those plans and then they're complaining to me. I'm like, I told you so.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure you find the right restaurant in Chinatown, as well as you got the booking, because depending on which one you go to, you'll get more queues. You get a lot more queues.
Yeah. I've got another question for you guys. About, as you're my like local experts. So I've got a Norfolk friend coming to see me.
Okay.
In a couple weeks.
Okay.
And he like grew up in Norfolk in the countryside, and it's always just like, I hate London. It stresses me out. And I've been like, I think when you come to South London, you won't think that, because if you've only ever been to Central London, it's completely different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
100%. Central London is completely different.
Yeah. So I've got 2 days. We're not even gonna go to Central London because I'm just trying to sell Southeast London in the hopes that one day he might move. What things should we do in 2 days? Like, what to sell it?
That's a hard question. You're
asking.
asking.
Yeah, I know.
You're asking.
Okay. I think there's a lot of good what do you call these things? It's like Broadway Centre. Like you have the one in Catford, which is really good. So you can go watch some plays there. A lot of street food. Legit, there's probably like street food pretty much in most of the markets. I'd say you can probably go around, walk through there. What else could you do? There's a lot of
trying to think of activities.
Honestly, there's a lot of like really good activities, like VR rooms. There's a VR room, I think, near
escape room might be funny.
Yep, escape rooms like in
escape room is hilarious
in Bromley.
That would stress him out, but hear me out. you stress out to get out of the room, but once he gets out, he's like, "It's not that bad."
Yeah, it's not that bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's better than that escape room.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like Central London or the escape room.
You got to change his perspective by redirecting.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so if you can't give him like, what type of things is he into? Like, does he have a particular thing that he likes?
Music, food, games.
Ooh. I would say arcade, but I can't remember. A lot of the arcades closed, didn't it?
Yeah, then a lot of them are in Central London.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, a lot of them moved out.
But there are a lot that are going to be close to what's it called? Elephant and Castle. Like there's this one.
True,
Nesh, do you remember the name? I think something 47. I'm not sure the name, but they do a lot of like retro games and they serve food there as well. And even that whole area is like a really nice park that you can walk through, you can chill. There's a lot of shops around there. There's what else they got in there? There's a lot more food places, and right near there is also the Lebanese Grill, so you can pop there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
Elephant Castle has a lot of like nice stuff
honestly,
in that area because it's getting what's the word? When an area is getting gentrification. So, but that has a lot of good places. Like, look, and it's a nice walk as well. So when you get into Elephant Castle, you can go through Elephant Park, and there's like a bunch of activities you can do there as well.
Amazing.
It's a nice little park.
I'd also say, honestly, like I think Central London, but it's not really south, but I'd say Canary Wharf, because even though there's a lot of people there, I think it's a lot less like fast paced compared to like actual Central London. Like even like when I am in Canary Wharf, even though there's a lot of people, it doesn't feel like so fast paced that, oh my God, like there's so much going on.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to recommend Central London stuff, do you know what I mean? Because you're trying to show him outside of Central London.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of like local spots that you could do. But yeah, I think his recommendation is pretty good.
Great.
Pretty good assessment. I would say Elephant Castle would be a good shout, but I would say just go during the day if possible. Yeah, I'm not recommending Elephant Castle.
Okay.
But yeah,
amazing. Well, thank you.
No worries.
Great.
Worries. And look, we're coming to the end of the show. I appreciate you coming on, Kitty.
Thank you. I didn't know I was going to be coming on today.
Well, we
scabbed
you. No, we scabbed you because the whole point was for you to observe. But isn't a better observation being a part of it? Yeah. Because then you can say X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
See? Gotta think smart.
Now we're going to get a grilling after this. So
grilling, I hope not. I'm not trying to get a grilling. But this is Nesh.
And it's been K. And this has been Nesh and K Talks. Thank you very much for listening.